Thanks once again to Trashcan for giving me the gift of all these cute emotes. Zelkspat, Zelkshart, Zelkswave, Zelkscomfy. double for salt, zelks bongo.
Hello. Good afternoon. How's it going? Happy Thursday. I hope that your week has gone well so far. We're almost at the end. Oh, sorry I wasn't around yesterday. It was a bit of a difficult day. But we made it through. Thank you. How's it going? How you guys doing? Before I get into anything, today is probably going to be on the shorter side. So I hope that's okay. I'm not gonna have a we're streaming a couple hours still, but for incredibly self-indulgent purposes, I will not be streaming the full usual 6 hours today. I hope you can understand. Oh dear. But yeah, I hope we're gonna have a good stream nonetheless. I think that we are gonna do some repo with Phantomy today. I haven't played repo in a very long time. And
Oh no, you aren't
Phantomy wanted to play
forever,
some.
Satch Pajay.
Wait, are you not actually sad that I'm not streaming forever? Is that a joke? Wow, I see how it is. Yeah, we're gonna play. So I haven't played Repo in a very long time. And apparently an update is dropping today, and it is my kind of update, cause it's a cosmetics update. So right up my alley. Yeah. Anyway, I will stop being rude. Let me say my hellos. I think this music a little bit loud today. Let me turn it down a wee bit. There we go. Alright. Let me say my hellos. So, hello Gem. Congratulations on being voiced. Hello Foggy. Hello Tiger. Hello Goat. Hello Rhino. Hello Sandwich. Hello Vec. Vec, thank you for the 2-1 resub. Happy 3+ however many other months it was. Unfortunately, I'm not that parasocial that I can keep tab of those who have changed accounts. But thank you very much regardless. Happy 3+ months. Hello Succumbio. Hello Ray. Bailing on work today because I've been having some of the worst sleep of my life this week. Well, I'm glad that you're taking care of yourself. Hello Jaikon. Succumbio, thank you for the 230 stream streak. Hello Brandon, thank you for the tier 1 resub. Happy 44 months. What a milestone. Thank you very much for that. A scenic onsen ryokan in Japanese mountains. I hope you are enjoying your well-deserved holiday after the week it seems that you had, Ray. Yesterday was really a day for a lot of people. The Wednesday, I guess the Wednesday might have been rough for a lot of people. I'm sorry if it was a rough one for you. Hopefully today is going much better. 6 or 7 hours? That's not what I said. Hello, Temmie. Thank you for the tier 1 resub. Happy 49 months. Thank you very much for that. And thank you for the gifted sub to Rhino as well. Thank you, Rhino. Hope you enjoy your sub. And they're adding a karting of sort as well. I'm not sure. Honestly, I have not been keeping up with Repo at all. Repo is not one of the games that I played frequently off stream as well as on stream, but Phantomy is like a really big fan of Repo. He's really, really fucking good at the game, honestly. So I'm looking forward to it. I always like playing games with Phantomy. Hello, Chris. Hello, Winter. Yeah, and honestly, whether it's been, you know, not so long a time or a very long time, I'm non-discriminate. Obviously, it's very nice of those who have decided to stick around and stick by me for so long, for whatever your reason might be, and I do really appreciate that. It is very sweet of you, but I don't want to make anyone feel lesser for not being here as long. So, it's just a compromise. No favorites, no favoritism here. Hoya is not working, of course it's not. Wait, I don't know, Winter, maybe you can help me. For some reason, to get my fucking overlay to work, I keep having to refresh it every single stream. It should work now. I don't know why. Where can I put some photos? Just media. Media. My Discord is not very complicated. All images go to media. Well, if an image doesn't fit in a certain pets or food or hell meme, whatever category, it just goes in media. That's it for me, nothing too extensive. I don't have a big enough Discord to warrant many different channels for many different things. Plus, I don't really like it. I like keeping on top of my Discord, and I know, you know, it's not the most active of Discords. Completely fine with that, by the way. Don't take this as a complaint or a grievance. I'm absolutely fine. You guys use it however you want to use it. To be fair, I didn't want a Discord in the first place, but I got bullied into making one, so here we are. Throwback to the original Discord, which was literally I had a Discord server for a Minecraft server that I had, and I just refashioned it into the VTuber one because I kept getting complaints that I didn't have a Discord server. Anyway, as I was saying, it doesn't really warrant me having many specific channels, and I wouldn't be able to keep on top of it, even if I did. Larger Discord servers overwhelm me quite easily. So I just try and stick to what I know. Hello, CJ. The only favorite in the stream is Ghost? Absolutely. He's been really loving lately. It's like he knows. Hello, Beaker. Thank you for the lurk. I'm okay. I'm feeling better. Thank you for asking. I'm glad you have a Discord. Well, I'm glad that you're glad that I have a Discord. Yes. I do hope it is useful. It is a place where at least you can use the emotes if you have Nitro or Twitch sub or whatever. I don't know. I try not to be too chronically online on there because I don't want to get too parasocial, but it never works out anyway because I just... yeah. So, yeah. My Discord rules are pretty simple anyway. Just, you know, post general TOS things and post stuff in the right channels that they're supposed to be posted in. Honestly, we haven't had too many issues with the Discord, which I'm happy for. Outside of art bots and the occasional rule breaker, it's not been, like, the worst thing ever. So I don't mind. I'm in quite a lot of Discord servers. I try to join a lot of my VTuber acquaintances and friends where I can. I might not even necessarily be the most active, if active in there at all, but I do try and check by them, check their announcements when I can, just to keep on top of things and in the know, secretly lurking in Discords too. Hello, Peter. How's it going? You will yap about anime in general? That's completely fine. I don't have an anime chat. The only chat I have outside of general for text chat is just gaming. There's general and there's gaming. So, rules be nice and don't be an ass. I wish I could just have that as a general rule, but I need to have every rule written out explicitly because otherwise people will sass you for it and be like, well, it's not explicitly a rule. Well, it is now. And I hope people are very considerate about, you know, how arse I am with the rules. Just keep in mind the reason why something is probably a rule is because someone has done something to warrant that being put in place. It is not because I'm intentionally being a fucking a tyrant. Is that the word I'm looking for? It's just because we've had problems before that warrants me needing to put that rule in for my comfort and my boundaries and everyone else's comfort and boundaries. I'm very aware that I am a bit more vocal about my boundaries, a bit more brash. In fact, over this past week, I felt a little bit bad, honestly, because I feel like I've been a little bit too aggressive with certain things. So I want to apologize for that. Thank you for the lyric, Foggy. Crow Overlord. They have rules for your community? Yeah, I know. I don't want to be, you know, some people probably look at it and just be like, wow, that's quite a lot, but it's just what I need to be able to make the community the kind of place that it is where people can just do what they want moderately without too much problem. And some people prefer a lot of rules as well because then they, you know, explicitly are aware of what they can and cannot do. Which is why the other day it kind of peeved me off. Someone came in as like a byproduct of a raid, and the first thing they say is like, you know, what the how unhinged can I be in here or whatever, and I'm like, come on, let's not start with that. That's a bit crungo behavior for me. That's not the first thing I want to see in a first time chatter. So, yeah. Still happens with posted rules. You'd be, Rally, probably all have seen, but you'd be amazed at the amount of like preemptive preparation or whatever that I can do in order to make things as streamlined and as obvious as possible, and people will still come in and be like, rather than take 2 seconds to read. Now, I understand sometimes people want to start dialogue, but I don't think that's the way you should start dialogue if you want to have a meaningful conversation. So, yeah. I was joking with Jinx, actually. Jinx sent me a link to a widget that basically, it's like a very interactive, on-stream, flashy widget that is showcasing the game that you're playing. And I was like, you know what's funny? I could get this and have it on stream and people would still ask me what game I'm playing. Now, I understand those questions that happened when I was testing and trialing the no category. And, you know, even if Winter did have the message pinned with the title, I'm very well aware that pinned messages are very hit or miss with some people. Sometimes they show up, sometimes they don't, and I'm completely fine with that, but sometimes it gets a little out of hand. I see it happen every time his Twitch drops. I think my drops share, my drops have been in stream for, yeah. I don't really usually do drop stuff. If I stream a game that has drops, it's usually by chance. Let's have a look. Oh, thank you, Winter! Oh wait, that's actually so smart. Holy shit, you're so smart. That's crazy. Winter solved my problem with the mix it up needing to refresh it to just do it automatically. Oh, I didn't even think about that. I just thought that I had like a bug or something. I wasn't expecting you to come up with like a solution. Oh my god, Ray, this is so pretty. That looks so cozy. I'm so jealous. Fuck you. There's a timer if the channel start thing didn't work. I'll probably try and implement it in a wee bit and do some testing. Maybe next stream start if I remember. Yeah. Thank you very much for that. I wasn't expecting like a band-aid on the problem. I was expecting you to go, well, actually, did you do this? Did you make sure this box was ticked? Because usually that is a problem that I have where I just don't read the fine print. Yeah, it looks amazing. Hi, Ghost. Can I help you, honey? Hello. He's come to murder the microphone. You gonna sit down with me? Can you sit here? There we go. He is vibrating. It's our time. Ugh. What a week, huh? I probably shouldn't yap too much if I'm like, let me just double check. You experience it too? Oh, so it might just be an inherent mix-it-up thing. Well, I'm glad I'm not on my own. He'd be asleep in 3 minutes. It's very tempting when he's in a cuddly mood to just sack off stream and go to bed. You're like a little lawnmower. I love you. Hi! Hi! Hello, Ginger. How's it going? We're listening to your guys' playlist today, by the way. I don't know if you were able to tell. So, shit, I was supposed to say as well. This Saturday, stream will be starting at 12. We're gonna be, as far as I'm aware still, we're gonna be doing the tier list with Ray. I'm probably going to veto the stream voting. We're probably not gonna do a long stream. We're probably not gonna do anything after, just because I'm starting at 12 and I don't really know if I'm gonna be able to stream 12 while 10, or, you know, stream 12 while 7 and then entertain afterwards. Maybe at best we could do a watch along or something. But we'll see how I'm feeling on the day. That being said, I was kind of thinking maybe we could do the crowd control peak if you guys are feeling up for it. My watch streak? I'll still be streaming until like 7, and it's on a Saturday. Hello, Caps. How's it going? Mixed Up has been a bit borked for a few, I know. I see. I mean, I'm not having any special problems with it. It's just that one thing that I was noticing that I don't know. I didn't know how I would even begin to fix it. Bandami! Hello! Oh, you could have stayed. Well, that's not my decision to make. Alright, let's move out of the way. Could have stayed streaming while we were doing some repo, but thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in, raiders. I'm gonna send you over to the raid video now, so enjoy that.
Hello Raiders. If you feel this stream isn't for you, or you have to leave for other things, don't worry about it. No one's going to chase after you, or hold any grudges. But if you feel like staying, then I hope you enjoy it here.
Hello, my name's Hel. I'm a PI Crow, private investigator by day. Oh, she's dead. Paranormal investigator at night.
Hands off, Galamar.
That cat just spoke real life words to me. Prego illustrator at sunrises and sunsets. Sorry, I got something in my eye. Alright, I will never do that again. We're fucking gaming. Let's fucking go!
Eat it. Eat this one as well.
Why are you feeding them?
What the fuck is it?
No! Hello! Welcome, Raiders! Anthony, thank you very much for the raid. I do really appreciate it. Hope you had a nice time for Far West, and that game is super fun. I have a clip that I forgot to post to show you guys when me and Phantomy were playing some Far West off of stream the other day. It was fucking hilarious. But I hope you had a good time. And no worries about, you know, taking some time for yourself. Don't feel like you have to stick around here and answer some, you know, silly questions and whatnot. But if you want to tell us how it went, feel free. But if not, that's completely fine too. For anyone that is new here, hello, I'm Hel. And I won't yap too much about myself because that's what the raid video is for. Today we're actually going to be playing some Repo with Phantomy. And a wee bit. So you let me know when you're ready to go, Phantomy. I'll probably... Oh. What was that about? Why did I lag? I will probably be completely fine to keep yapping for like another 25 minutes or so if that's good enough for you. Get yourself some good food or a snack and some drinks. Maybe stretch those little ghostly fucking nubs. Yeah. Hello, Day. How's it going? Thought that was buffering on my end? No, my fucking VTube model just it was only my VTube model as far as I'm aware. Is all of our brains buffering IRL? Thank you for the 315 stream streak, Day. Thank you, thank you. Our brain blinked. Could you imagine that? That sounds fucking really grotesque. Ah. And the noise it would make if it blinked. Ah. Grim. There we go. We all share a brain cell like ginger cats, if you want. I don't see why not. Ugh. Ugh. My nose. Very itchy nose. Oh. Well. Well. Okay. Thank you for that. That was, yeah, I wanted to read that. Yeah, I was saying here that if your nose itches, it might means you're gonna argue with someone. I mean, I'm always up for an argument. Actually, probably not right now. Hello, Hannah. How's it going? I have snacks. I need a snack. That's what I need. I got some Monster Munch. I'm okay. Hopefully you can get some rest soon. Cats are lame. That's just your opinion. Guys, I shit you not. I opened this bag of crisps. There's 8 Monster Munch in here. Hello, Lynette. How's it going? They are pickled onion flavor, so they're probably gonna burn the skin on the outside and the inside of my mouth. Honestly, they're really good. They're like primary school lunch staple. Hello, Longo. How's it going? I'm Daniel. How are you doing? Wow. Everyone just suddenly got very violent, huh? What's it and skips? What's it and skips? Yeah, very elite tier. I don't like prawn cocktail, but I will happily demolish a bag of skips. Oh, but you said I was gonna have an argument. I'm not having an argument. Everyone else is. You love prawn cocktail? The Walker's prawn cocktail are just a bit too strong for me. I could probably eat them. I don't hate them, but a bit too on the stronger side for me, she says as she's eating pickled onion. Hello, Kodiak. Thank you for the lurk. Shivers down your spine? Someone's talking about you? I thought the saying was like... when you get that tingle or shiver down your spine, it's, the saying that we say is... someone's just stepped on my grave. Yeah, exactly, Vec. That's what we say over here. I've never not heard someone say that over here. Jalapeno flavored chips? I honestly like jalapeno, but only when it's cut correctly. I don't want to eat a whole jalapeno, like, as it is. I'll have it on pizza if it's sliced, like, you know, moderately enough. And I will still probably need, like, a wee drinky drink after. I'm not very good with spice. But, jalapenos are delicious. I don't know if it's just a Scottish thing because, I grew up in England saying it. Could just be a Lanx thing. Wouldn't know anything about that. Haha. Get it, 'cause I'm from Yorkshire. Your escape key is working today? Yeah, I don't know what's going on with your keyboard, bro. Num num num. Hello, Christian. How's it going? Shall we start gossiping? Shall we start some like some gossiping, some like it's what we call over here like council estate talk. Non-derogatory, I grew up on a council estate, so in Doncaster of all places. For the first few years of my life, it was rough. Had my birth certificate stolen. Hello, Pancake. How's it going? Why would someone steal a birth certificate? I should elaborate. We were moving and someone stole, like, we got burgled and someone stole a bag that had my birth certificate in it. I did not live on a council estate ever. I lived in Margate and Ken very early on. Then in a 3-floor terraced house in one of the most impoverished areas in the county. Oh. I see. Do you have proof you weren't born from an egg? No, it just became really annoying later on in life when I went to get my first ever job. And my mum only had like a shorter version of my birth certificate, so I couldn't actually be inducted until we had to order a new one. If someone wants my identity, they can have it. I am, I don't like myself enough to care. Forgive my ignorance. What is a council estate? It is like... Let me get a proper definition up so I don't end up upsetting anyone with like stereotypical slang talk. Because even though, you know, I grew up in one for a part of my life, I don't want to be insensitive. In short, it is managed by like the local council, but it's really hard. Stereotypically, it is for people that are not necessarily in great situations. If we can, it's very stereotypically like low income areas. I currently live in a council-owned flat. For a situation I will not go into. There are benefits. You pretty much have security. They can't really kick you out. It is a lower cost than typically other places. The only problems with it being the lower cost is you basically move in and the place is a fucking mess. It is like you don't have floors. The state of the property is usually very not great. There's not a lot of great upkeep with it. So I'm still doing work on this place. So it's kind of the exchange you have. You have a roof over your head, very much cheaper price. But you know, there's things that come along with that too. So trailer trash is something I hear used. Very stupid. I mean, at the end of the day, if you got a roof over your head, I don't see a problem. No judgment here if you don't have a roof over your head either. It's fucking hard times we live in. No shame. You do what you can to get by. That being said, I have probably added a lot of equity to this fucking flat with the amount of work I put in it. There's a very, I will not get too much into this because it is not a very tasteful topic and it's not something I want to argue with people over. But there is another stereotype that comes along with council-owned buildings, like council flats, council houses, and it's that allegedly they just give them out for free to a lot of like a lot of people. I was gonna, it's not even necessarily like a immigrant kind of stereotype, but it's just generally people that are like, you know, people that don't work, people that live off the benefits and stuff like that, and it's like, oh, my taxpayer money goes to this, that, and the other. A lot of people don't realize that actually you're not living somewhere for free. That's not how it works. You still have to pay rent, and that's still quite a considerable amount. It's just a lot cheaper than the usual what's going on in the market. You still have to pay things like, you know, council tax, you have to pay your utilities, you have to pay your maintenance stuff, you have to upkeep the property. It's just, you know, you've got that safety of you can't really be kicked out unless you know, do like a big rule breaky no, which is usual for everywhere. I don't think you were misunderstood. So, you're good. You're good. I just don't want to, I don't want to get into like a conversation because this type of topic can be quite inflammatory and I try to avoid these topics. But that's another piece of misinformation you'll probably hear a lot over the media. And I've seen it a lot myself, and it's like, I wish that, you know, I didn't have to pay rent. That would be great. That would be fantastic. But at the end of the day, that's not actually how it works. People are very misinformed because they want to direct their anger at someone, but they are directing it at the wrong people, sadly. £2,000? Holy shit. The old welfare queen stereotype. Very bad stereotypes, yeah. It upsets me seeing it because, like, you know, again, one of the biggest things is, like, the stereotype of why someone would be seeking something like this, for nefarious reasons, but, like, I'm not going to give my reason because it's a matter of safety, but, I don't know. I feel like all empathy has gone out the window, and all understanding. People just want to be angry all the time. They want to be mad and sour and whatever. So, I have to tear it out and redo it. Thankfully I have a bath. I miss having showers in my house. Is there not some sort of partial DIY you can do to take it out, or like what? Sometimes you just have no other choice? Yeah, I think it's just everyone's fighting their own battles. Let's be a little bit more aware of that. So... The internet has led to less people being way too vocal. Empathy is king. You can say a lot of things when you're sat behind a keyboard. Much easier than you would be able to in an actual conversation with a person. have disability support because I'm like physically suboptimal, I suppose. People are like, something benefits. I'm sat there, pleases, pays my bills, and I'm in a lot of pain. A lot of time, have mercy. I wish people would choose to be happy a lot more. Again, I think it's just a case of people want to be angry at something, but they are directing their anger at the wrong type of people. I don't know. But we'll probably stop the conversation here. I don't really want to talk much more about it. It's pretty depressing, and it can invite a lot of inflammatory responses and whatnot. Hell solved the wrong crime. The cops knew better than to investigate, but the victim hired Hell as a PI. She couldn't help but solve the crime now the perpetrator is behind bars. Not happy about it. His friends are now searching for her with prejudice. I wish my life was that exciting. What are the plans today? We're going to be playing Repo in probably about 5 minutes with Phantomy and any VIPs or mods that would like to join. You are free to. We're going to try out the new update. To be fair, there's been quite a few updates since I last played. It's been a hot minute, but there's cosmetics now. And I really like cosmetics. But we aren't going to be streaming long today, as I said. For entirely self-serving reasons. Which you'll see later, but... People who are exposed to more stuff outside their little sphere of influence, they often became more empathetic. This is what I mean. There needs to be mandatory... you know how there's mandatory conscription? Is that it? In some countries, it needs to be mandatory fast food or customer service in general conscription. I think that would definitely fix the attitude of quite a few people. If a camera that you got, old camera from the late 90s, I was wandering around taking pictures of people and things on the beach and such. Does it look like, does it make photos that look like they were taken in the 90s? One year mandatory retail work? Yep. Yep. I really think it should genuinely be a thing. I mean, the closest we had was work experience in high school, but I think that for us in my year actually got cancelled and we actually never did it. I think they stopped doing it after our year entirely, now that I think about it. Mandatory healthcare? As much as I would love to agree with you, I think healthcare might be too much responsibility for someone like that where our intentions of bettering them, just because it's, well, it depends on what you would suggest. What would you suggest they do? Because if it comes to taking it, I don't think it's very fair. When it comes to fast food, it's fine. If you get the wrong order or fucking whatever, it's whatever. But when you're talking about, like, taking care of other people, that kind of responsibility is a little bit more heavy to be giving to people that potentially just don't care, sadly. So... personal care assistance, it's hard but not difficult work. It's more about if we're talking about the type of people we're trying to aim towards, imbuing empathy into them, we need to make sure that whatever we are doing is not at the potential cost of someone else's quality of life, if that makes sense. It's less colorful, less saturated and such. I see. Usually with like a, what is it called? A vignette or whatever. Fair enough, makes sense. But I completely understand where you're coming from. Along with customer service, fast food or whatever, healthcare it's absolutely abysmal, the entitlement people have. Especially considering how hard you have to work to be able to even get into a job in that field. Like, it's disgusting, the way some people treat their healthcare workers. So, hello Jerry, welcome in. What's going on here? We're talking about empathy, and that people lack empathy quite a bit nowadays, and how we could possibly fix this problem by inducing mandatory fast food conscription or whatever work for a year. He's 40 years experience at 21. Yeah. A lot of time, a lot of money spent to become a healthcare worker just so that some fuck ass with a headache can yell at you because you didn't see them before the heart attack patient, you know? Hello, Jeffy! Thank you for the tier 1 resub. Happy 34 months. Thank you. How's it going? And Jerry, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the Moida. I hope you enjoy your stay. You know what's crazy? Even talking about this, I still feel like I'm virtue signaling by saying some of this shit, but it is genuinely something I have felt for the past, like, what, 3 or 4 years now? That should be a thing. I don't think that I have never been someone who has not been overly empathetic or whatever. So I don't think that I would have ever been in a situation where if I hadn't worked in customer service of any sort, which I've worked many years in, that I wouldn't be empathetic and understanding and, you know, the whole Karen shit. However, working in these situations and scenarios has definitely increased that by like tenfold, so... Or sign a contract saying if you leave before the contract, you owe the company money. That's how I got my first nursing job as an RN after doing 6 years total for nursing schooling. I cut myself with a kitchen knife. How dare you take the pregnant woman first? It's crazy. I think I don't understand how people don't understand how hospitals work. You aren't necessarily seen. I mean, it would be a wonderful world if we could just see you. I say we as if I work in a hospital right now, but it would be a wonderful world if you could be seen in the order that you applied or even seen right away. However, in a hospital, this is not how it works. It is, are you dying? How badly are you dying? That is the hierarchy in a hospital, you know? Yeah, triage. Yeah, exactly. And I don't understand how people can still, like, act the way they do towards people that have no control over, well, it's not my fault this person is dying and I have to see them right now. Like, what are you talking about? I was working as an IT technician. I went in with the people who know how to work computers, right? Can't be that hard. It was very wrong. Don't underestimate the amount of technical illiteracy there is in the world. I've heard stories from Winter. Self-centered people lack a lot of empathy. At this point, though, it's hard to even be like, oh, well, they just lack empathy. It's just more like they lack common sense. Someone is dying from a head injury, but you fell over and your knee slipped or whatever the fuck. Bro, like, come on. Grow up. Hello, Drew. How's it going? I also feel like virtue signaling as a neologism is usually used to designate someone engaging in the behavior in a hypocritical way. You live a life where you give good as much as you can. I don't know what neologism neologism means. Thank you for the self-care check. Alright, I'll send a wee message over to Phantomy to see if he's ready. So we can get a good couple of hours of repo in if that is okay with you guys. I am enjoying our chat, but someone is ringing me. It's suspected spam though. Newly coined phrase or word? Oh, I see. you recently learned about that phrase quite literally while going through some Twitter threads to my discomfort. We do have a knack as humans for just doing things that that makes us, you know, reading things, watching things, engaging in things that makes us mad, huh? It's a very big flaw that we have, huh? I'm very, very guilty of the same. I'm like, I know looking at this and engaging with this is gonna make me mad, but I'm gonna do it anyway. AI of all things. Oh, that conversation. I've turned away from a lot of that. Honestly, I should just uninstall Twitter. I uninstall as if it's something I installed. I should just quit Twitter. But it's how I find a lot of artists, honestly, that I have been keeping tabs on. So I'm good. Okay, right. I'm gonna set up some repo now with Find Me. Now, I'm not particularly the greatest at repo in general, but I also have not played it in a hot minute. Any mods or VIPs that would like to join for some repo, let me know now or forever hold your peace. Especially let me know now because if there's more than 4, we'll probably have to use a mod, right? Because it's 4 max. You uninstalled it? I should just get rid of it, honestly. But my artists, you can join. Oh, good for you. I'm glad you can join. That was so hostile. Yo, Beepo. Hello, Igor. How's it going? Don't look at me. I'm killing you first. You don't even know how the controls work in this game. Okay, let me play. Tired as heck? I'm okay. Hopefully you can get some rest. Alright, let's see. This is the wrong. This is the right. Everybody knows. Everywhere I go. Making everyone I cannot hide. Trying over someone like you. Crying. Kill all of them for me, bro. Grow up. Alright, no more music. You guys get silence. Yeah, look at that. I don't lag anymore when I do the transition. What the heck? Tits is really like it's really I'm really seeing it as something that has caused me a lot of problems that I didn't even picking her up. Sorry, Winter. Password. Oh, alright. Okay. Let's see. Hi! Hello, Steven. How's it going?
What's the password?
Oh. Who just spoke?
What do you mean?
Winter, you might be using a webcam mic.
It's not. It's using the right mic.
Why do you sound like that?
Oh, wait.
Because my web program, my actual program was using the wrong mic. That's
there
weird.
we go.
Yeah. My fault.
Yeah, it is your fault.
You can customize the color of each piece of your body individually.
You're gonna make yourself look something fucking disgusting, I already know. I already see it! I already see it! Oh, grim! Hello, Normanton, how's it going? You need to invite me again? Why do I need a password? Because,
It's easy.
It's, yeah, I literally...
I got it.
Yeah, if Winter can join with a password, you have
She
the
didn't
ability
tell
to
me
join
that.
with a fucking password.
It's four characters. That's all you need to know.
Wait, how do you...
It should be obvious.
How do you select... Oh. Hello.
Hi.
You could... Hello. To do the colors individually, you click the little palette and the like icon. There's like one in each icon. For the part, like the body part.
Oh. Oh, why did it
Yeah.
randomize?
Also, am I quiet?
Because you clicked
No, you're
randomize.
fine. No, I'm clicking it, and it's not... How do you... Wait, so click the palette, and then you click the person, right?
There's an eye on each body part. Like, so if you're looking at like the head, right? If you look at head top, there's a little like icon next to that on the item itself that you select, not the overall one on the left.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Each body part has one of those.
I see.
Goat, your hint is Hunt Showdown. And I can truly not help you further.
I put the fucking password in the chat!
No.
Did you guess the
Well.
password?
Yeah, genuinely.
That's,
Go, this is a skill issue. This is actually a skill issue.
there is no god. There's nothing.
Yeah, I just guessed it. Genuinely, I didn't look. That's you're predictable, I don't know.
You have whatever fucking smart ass.
What?
How is it a
Ooh.
skill issue?
Because it is.
She put it in the chat.
But I'm not looking at the chat, I'm just trying to join the game. It's like, oh, is it actually a password?
Grow up.
Yeah, it's valid. It's valid.
Whoa.
Can you still do? Hold on. How do you type in this game again? Ah, there it is. How do I?
180 ping? Well, he's just gonna have to deal with that because we're all EU. Otherwise, I would be fine putting it on the, He's gonna die regardless of his ping, it's fine.
Are we talking
I'm
about
a
me?
bee.
Because yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we are talking about you. Alright,
Yeah,
are we ready?
I am.
Yep.
What?
Sure.
I just turned blue! Oh, can you say something?
What? What?
It's funny, I have to put Winter down at 55%, Phantomy's at 100, and Goat is at 150%.
It doesn't work.
Nice one, idiot. Nice fucking text.
It doesn't work.
They fixed it.
He's blue, that was
Doesn't
not
work.
this shit again.
So
Fixed
sad,
it,
dude.
I say.
I actually fixed it. It's so sad.
You guys look disgusting.
Hi, Frankie.
What
What
do
do
you
you
mean?
mean? He looks great. I look great.
I'm a
If
bee.
Winter's telling you look great, then I have news for you, bud.
What do you mean, dude?
Imagine having the guts to talk when you look like that.
I know, for real, bro.
For real.
What
How
the
do I
fuck
play
you
this
do in
video game again?
Like break shit?
Yeah.
No, that's yeah.
No,
I
that's
think
Yap Yap.
That's Yap Yap. I think we don't want to break shit, actually.
Imagine actually just starting to break shit. That would be hilarious.
How do you even... What is the... What is the controls?
What do you mean? WSD?
Figure out how to
Yeah,
make it.
how
Oh,
do
we
you...
got it.
There's a
Yep.
way you can usually, like, scan, right?
No,
Was it
there
eight?
isn't.
I thought
Tab
there was.
brings up the map,
Bro.
and then on that you see things
Bro.
you've seen.
Not young like Benjamin.
What's...
If Benjamin ever hit his
Oh,
life,
nice. Nice soup.
Okay, so I think...
What are these messages are popping up?
That's you saying that when
it's
you're
this
holding the
item.
potion.
Oh.
Yeah.
can wait to go
Oh, I broke it a bit.
You black go.
All of us down.
Yeah.
God.
Yes. Don't worry about that.
2,500.
Oh,
Hello,
no, that
Frank.
didn't
How's it
happen.
going?
Oh my.
How's that
Don't worry
fair?
about
Winter
that.
told me once my Genji
Oh.
skin is terrible. You said that it's really bad. When even Winter says it's bad, but it's also bad if Winter says it's good. Man, what is this? If Winter likes something, then it's gonna be fucking horrendously ugly. If Winter doesn't like something, then that's a problem. You know what I mean? There's no winning at that point. The safest bet is to just not ask Winter for his opinion.
Mushroom. We're Rick.
Sure.
No, keep that fucking thing away from me. Kill it.
I mean, it's your people.
Maybe it's my people.
Okay.
Gnomes.
Did we always have
Play some
flashlights?
today.
Yes.
What are you playing?
Hasn't changed that much.
I feel like the flashlights are worse than they used to be. Deep Rock. He says
I-
it's an event.
I need to play Hunt.
Me too, bro.
I haven't played Hunt since the fucking event started.
Well, you haven't
Imagine.
played Hunt Showdown since 1890.
I bought the battle pass and I haven't played in like a
Yeah,
month.
exactly. Same.
Well, the
I
good
have the
news
fucking battle pass.
Is
The guy here.
you can earn all your
fuck,
points
Ron.
in like 2 minutes. So what do you mean?
Okay.
There's a fellow behind
sure
us.
it's-
Guys, it says run.
He threw his head at you guys. I think it's fine. He doesn't look that dangerous. He threw it at you. I don't know.
Why did I hear a fucking scream? Ooh, what is this?
Surely, oh, he's mad at me.
It's
don't
fine.
come
Don't
near
worry
me.
about it. Why? Well, you have the Eye of Sauron. Nice.
Ooh. Can it hear me? I don't think it can hear me. What the fuck is that thing? It's gross. It's disgusting. You know, that's not my problem. Where's the cart? I just heard an uh-oh and then an explosion.
Oh no, yeah, he hurts. He didn't kill me, but he hurts. Cleanup crew.
I don't know where the fucking cart is. Do you have the cart?
No, I got ran away from
Oh,
it, but
they
have the
fucking
card.
just
They're
put it
taking
in. I have like fucking $2,000 in my hand. What is wrong? Well, which way is home? This way.
There's no home.
Kill
Look at
them.
him. Well,
Kill
try to eat
them.
me.
Kill them!
What do you mean kill them?
Pick them up and slam them on the fucking floor!
We're
You can
done.
pick
We
them
go
up.
home.
Yes!
Okay. You can
How's he
pick up
supposed
some
to know
things, but
that?
there's like a thing now where we can't pick up everything. I don't think, right?
No, you generally can't pick big monsters by yourself. Like, the bigger they are, the harder
okay.
they are to pick up. And after we get to the next difficulty, we're gonna have a limit, like a stamina meter.
Yeah, I thought there was like an overcharge thing they added a while ago or something.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yep. And if we overcharge, we explode.
Oh.
How do you change your expression
I-
again?
You can do that.
Yeah.
5, 6, 7, 8. 6, 7, 8.
5, 6, 7,
7?
8.
6, 7.
So if I hit 6, 7 in sequence, will I do? Oh, what
Oh
the
my
fuck?
freaking eyes!
Hey, look, I'm goat.
I need to fix
No,
my
you
eyes.
just idiot.
You know who I look like? I look like that robot from Robots. The guy, the main
No
villain.
way, you look like a
The main
robot.
villain! The main
You
villain!
look like a robot.
The
That's
fucking
crazy.
the guy, the main villain.
There we go.
What is this?
Was what? Oh, that's so we need to bring, I think, certain things to unlock cosmetics.
Okay, so this is the most important item in the game.
It's literally a gamba.
Aunt Fanny had it going on. Why is she called Aunt? Oh,
Can we still steal health packs?
No.
Or did they patch that?
they patched it like
patched that.
literally the patch
And they
after
like
we
made
played.
it. They made them cute now. Look at this. This is so pretty.
Is there like a secret room in this place or
Oh,
something?
you're right.
Somewhere at the
Oh,
top,
yeah.
but they moved it, I think.
Oh.
Why would they do
Everybody
that?
found it, so.
You look like the bellboy that was at the gate. Guys, make sure we watch Robots together. Maybe we can do that on Saturday if I'm
Now
not feeling.
that's a watch along.
Yeah. Hello, Tube.
That's a
How's
good
it going?
movie.
Whoa! What the fuck?
What the fuck is that?
It's
How
a
much
go
is
kart.
that? We need that.
A goat
All of
cart.
our money has to be spent on that.
It's the hauler. It's 48k. We can't even afford it.
How do we sell our friends to afford that?
Unfortunately, we
Okay.
cannot.
Damn.
Uh-oh.
Oh god. I like cannot find the secret entrance. It's not real.
Why are
You missed the COD
taunting?
channel point rewards, Riot. I'm sorry. The tits is no longer a thing on this channel now, but I might see if I can put it back up with
Oh,
the
wait, what's
other
this?
thing.
Oh, is it
Ooh.
here? I found the secret room.
Oh, what do you mean? Okay. Second. Oh. What do we have here?
We had some
secret room.
grenades.
Yeah, someone pulled the pin on some grenade.
Because the
Wait,
grenade
why did you die?
bounced.
Ow! Oh, we take damage in here. That's crazy. Hmm.
We take damage. Yeah.
I
yeah.
one. I fucking died. Of course he take that.
I didn't know. Listen, I'm not. You're not real.
Ow.
Yeah.
What are we
What the fuck,
buying?
bro? I bought strength. That's the only one so far. We have
Thank
some
you.
upgrades. I think we need 1 health for goat because.
Death head battery.
I have 15 HP.
Okay, we need more health.
Someone
then.
blew me up too, and by someone I mean, you know.
No, because it doesn't matter the damage you took here. The damage you took on the map is the one that matters.
Oh, then I have 65 total when we get out of
Crying
here.
out loud. Alright. Bro, what the fuck, bro? What
Why are
the
you fucking
Listen,
around?
the cleanup crew threw a grenade at me. What do you mean? Why you're doing this? I have done nothing.
Is there a toilet we can throw this guy in? Ow, that did like fucking 15 damage.
Oh, hey, Can't give me
So I
a
don't know
no
how to
I
drive
think
this.
I think I have a message for you, Goat.
You have a message.
Yeah.
What's your message?
Faint says,
How do I
poor
speed
Goat,
this up?
I'm not here lately, so you guys just bully him. Don't worry, Pookie, I'm coming home soon.
That's great.
That is crazy.
Alright,
There's a lot
shall
more
we...
expressions than I thought there would be.
Shall we depart?
Yeah.
You killed Goat! Yeah, nothing of value is lost, it's alright. Oh no! I got thrown! I tried to revive.
Ah!
Oh, we don't have any
Yes!
money to revive Goat.
I have been stopped. Okay, let's go.
Wait, is it broken?
No.
Oh, it might be broken.
No.
Why?
I
But
can't
we
get
don't
in
have
it.
any money to revive this
No,
guy,
you
so...
need to. So you need to click on the hand icon thing. Jump
What?
on top of it
Oh, there-
and click on the hand. There you go.
Sorry, Goat.
And hold it. Hold it. Hold
Oh.
it.
You're the best of us. I'm gonna put you here. You can still
There
talk
you
while
go.
you're dead. I don't know how, but you can.
Ow.
Get down here.
I'm not getting down there at all.
Get
You
out
stay
here.
down there. You can have that thing. Here,
Can't you
can have this
speak when
guy.
you're dead, though?
Yeah, I told him he could. I don't know. Hey, hello.
I'm sorry, comrade.
Fuck. Blew his soul out.
What is wrong with you guys?
Look, sometimes you just gotta motion people up.
Sometimes. Okay, we got healing for whomever's low health. We got heals. We got health. We
I'm at
got.
65. Go.
I'll take
yeah,
this.
he
Thank
needs it.
you.
I don't need shit.
Do you not need health? Are you? Okay. I will eat one then.
Oh man, someone's just gonna kill me in the middle of this run. Like, what's the point of me having health?
Oh my god! Shut up and take the health. That works too.
Here, take
We had
this.
two of them.
Take the health
Eat
upgrade.
this.
Ah! I took a
I ate
strength
the health. I have
upgrade.
90 health now.
Eat the pill. Okay, I thought I had
Take
to
the
put
health
it in, like,
upgrade.
some cookie though.
You can be the tank. Oh. You can't be the tank. There's fucking gnome over here.
I could be a gnome. Hold on.
I guess that was
Santa
really
Claus.
Oh
Museum of
god!
Human Art.
I just realized. Has anyone played burgling gnomes?
I think Winter has.
Like once. I played with my partner. We did not do very good. It was fun
That's
though. I liked it.
cool.
It was cool.
It's a funny game. You can be an even
Yeah.
better gnome
It's
there.
the like
so
the
right.
the fucking Who's Your Daddy, right?
Yeah, but
What?
nobody's controlling the grandpa. He's
Oh.
his own.
Ooh.
He's AI. You should play Who's Your Daddy.
They made this so you can actually take the money from inside. It's funny.
Can you? You lied! You lied!
This is just a clove of garlic.
This fucking bastard.
Hey guys, Hell died. I'm gonna put their head in here.
How did she die?
I don't know, I had my eyes closed. Hey Winter, did you know you can, that you can take the money out of this one out?
Don't do it! It'll kill you! Don't do it!
Don't do it, huh?
He's killing everyone! Daniel, did you pay Phantomy off?
You just click the
Oh, you
money.
can take the money out of it. You just click the money.
I can't. I don't have the thing.
Interesting.
Don't do it! Don't! It'll kill you!
What is that? Why is it making?
Oh, it's the griefing thing. Just let me put it in here and it's gonna stop.
Oh, my
I
throat
hope.
hurts from that screaming.
There we go.
Wait, what?
It's
Why are
the
you guys,
griefing
like-
thing.
Oh no! Oh god. Oh god, this is horrible.
I told you it's the griefing thing.
Oh my god, I can't. It truly.
Okay, wait. What's the exit?
Wait, it's over
I need
here.
to- yeah, I need to get this in there right now.
Yeah.
I don't see what it's doing.
Get this fucking thing away. Horrible, vile demon thing. Alright.
Alright, I mean, I think we have enough money to res hell.
What the fuck is that?
Might as well
Oh,
do that.
sure.
It's a bug in
Mine is-
here.
You're right.
The what?
Goat has something.
Oh, it's a leech. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
they're chill. As long as you didn't get too close. They're gonna try to suck you.
Can't believe he got me.
It's coming
But
for
it
you.
was funny. A plus to it. Just say stop. Tax man. There's something at the above it too. Am I getting rezzed? You fucker. I'll get my fucking revenge. Ah!
I didn't do anything. I better not be for me.
Guys, I'm 1 HP. Guys, why am I like 1 HP?
Here. Because the buddy bag fell on you.
Oh. Alright, that'll do. Thank you.
Hi. Uh-oh.
Go away, please! Thank you. Yeah, fuck you. What's the Scooby-Doo? Coming after you. Gotta solve the mystery. Stay away from me.
Go.
Vent? Oh. Let me in. Oh, I'm so sus. I'm so sus. Bum, 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 bum. Ba-da-da. It's not that big of a fall, right? Yeah, it's fine. Wow. Where is everyone? I have something valuable! Oh wait, they didn't fill it yet. Why does it say 0 out of 11,000? That big fucking wiener.
Man is here.
Guys, I vented.
Extract. Sus. Oh, what the
Oh,
fuck
how'd
is
you
this?
die?
There was an evil
Oh,
face
freaky
head
looking.
thing.
Oh, same.
Reminds me of
Did
hell
you see
for
me
some
vent?
reason.
Oh no, there's something up here.
No.
So many
Invented.
new items in this game.
Yeah,
the item
invented.
design in this game is really good.
Yeah.
Had a
Big
giant
They've been just
radioactive
improving.
bug.
They also added
A
like
what?
special items for the
Like,
magic place.
I don't know. It's like a giant
Oh,
cup.
nice. I'm
It's
very
made of
excited to see
plutonium
that.
or some shit. I don't
Oh,
know,
she's
glowing-
dead.
Did you
glowing
drink
green.
it?
Yep.
Goat is also dead.
Yeah, Goat
Yeah,
is
we have
already
his
in
head
the.
too.
Oh.
How much do we have? Not enough.
Not enough. Yeah.
I forgot. What do we have to bring to get cosmetics?
I don't know where you
Well, we can just take one of their heads and beat a monster to death with it. I'm sure that'll work.
What do we have to do to get the cosmetics again?
I've no idea. You're asking the wrong guy.
Well, can you ask
I'm here
Fan to
for
me,
a good
'cause-
time, not a long time.
I died. Fuck me. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Wait there! Oh, for fuck's sake.
What? Is this like a golden shit?
Hold on, I'm gonna try to go up here. I'll be
Wait,
back.
no, I've already been up. I've already been up there. Phantomy is needing your help. He wants to move a giant golden turd.
What do you mean he wants to move a giant... Alright. Where did he even go? What the fuck? Phantomy!
Oh.
What the fuck is that?
That looks like a tick. That was getting
the
huge. It was sucking on your brain juices.
Oh, you can't be fucking serious, man.
What brain juices?
Okay.
How do I
can
talk
this.
in my head?
Alright.
You have to wait for it to charge.
Oh, I see. How did he even... I was trying to find him. I had no clue where this guy was. Oh, he's... I know where he is. I didn't know you could get up there. I would have never made it up there. It's a jumping puzzle.
I know.
Bro left with a card as well, didn't he?
I tried.
I sure did.
I kept getting stuck at the planks. I gave up. Then I died.
Yeah.
Is that the fucking leech full of your blood?
Great. Don't you dare, you stupid, horrible thing. No.
No. Oh, no.
That's not good.
That's not good. Oh, he's kind of got it grabbed at least. He might be able to take him out.
Yeah, but it's fucking huge.
It's up. It's... yeah.
God
Oh
damn it.
no! Yeah. That's what
That
happened
was
to me too.
unfortunate.
I blame Hell for that one. She killed me.
Yeah.
She sent that tick after me. It was an inside job.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
I was trying to tell him about the fact that you wanted to.
It's true, she did.
Yeah, I don't know where, like...
I can't do jumping puzzles, so I did no clue where you even...
Ah!
That was...
My magic wand, you killed it! God, you died. Get in my teeth.
Jesus.
Amazing.
Crazy.
11 out of 10.
Run.
Anyway,
so
yeah.
we didn't unlock any cosmetics, right? How do we
Yeah,
unlock
'cause we-
cosmetics?
We need to find them in the world and bring them to the shop.
What do they look
Okay.
like?
Wait, you can...
Like squares.
Okay.
Minecraft blocks.
Okay.
You know what a square looks like, right?
I'm looking at
it's
hell.
it's at least 6 sides, right?
6, 7 sides. The fuck do they say?
Alright. I know
You
that
good,
we're
Chief?
technically talking about a cube, but I didn't want to be that person.
The cute person?
Be there or be square
No,
person?
that actually you guys are mean cube. Excuse me.
I do.
What?
Fanning.
Fanning?
Fanning.
I don't know what you're saying.
Camera there.
I think Goat has lost it.
Why would you say such a thing?
He just
Something so
he
personal.
keeps cutting out, so all I'm hearing is him say and then he keeps fucking trying to kill me.
That doesn't sound like Goat.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I think
Yeah.
Goat lost it. Hello Lychee! Hello Dip! How's it going? I found something.
Yo.
Long day, but home now. Well, good work today. Big proud of you. Make sure to treat yourself to something nice. Daisy, Daisy, give me your answer, do. I'm a half crazy, all for the love of you. I don't need a stylish marriage. I can't afford a carriage. You hide in here or you can't. But you'll look sweet upon the seat of a bicycle made for two. Guys, this place is fucking
Got it, boss.
empty. Ooh, I got a calculator. It's $1,100. Honestly, that really does check out. What the fuck?
Okay, put
Weird kid and he's blowing balloon.
Oh, it's Hell's friend. I remember that one.
Yeah, this balloon kid.
Yeah, that's Balloon Kid. Hell is like on a very close
close me.
relationship with.
Hello?
Hello.
Hi.
This is the guy with the suit of armor.
I heard that. I'm out of here. Bye bye.
He's the guy with the suit of armor.
Wait,
I'm
get the
gone.
calculator.
Wait, where is it? Oh.
It's... Don't push the cart in. There's more money to be made.
There's demons about though.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, you gotta pay for it.
I'm
Like,
broke.
bro is genuinely the chillest. As long as you don't break his balloons.
I have a feeling Winter might be someone who breaks his balloons. Did you
That's
tell
fair.
Winter that? Stop it! What the
No.
fuck is wrong with you? Winter!
I don't know if this helps.
Don't break his
Oh, it doesn't.
balloons.
Too late.
Yeah, I fucking figured.
Alright. Quite a few things. Wait, we can go.
I broke like 4 balloons, in fact.
4?
That's not good.
I mean, he didn't care, so it isn't bad as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. I think he just doesn't like Hell. Specifically.
There was the big armor guy though, with the laser beam. He was around. That guy scared me.
Armor guy?
Yeah, you know, he's like, "Roar," and he shoots like a big laser, I'm pretty sure. Or no, not a laser. It's got like eyes
Shockwave.
on him.
Oh, the one with the big shoes, the clown?
So the clown is the
not
laser.
the clown.
The
That's the
trudge
laser,
is
yeah.
the one that sucks you in.
I think it might be Trudge.
He does trudge around quite a bit, not gonna lie. Oh ho ho!
Oh, Winter! Look! Oh. Where'd it go? Ow! Oh, it's
Where did
here.
it go?
Knocked it out
Look,
of your
Winter!
hand. What was that?
That's a
it's
bear
the-
trap. Hunt showdown.
Yeah, Hunt Showdown. It needs to stay flat to activate. You can't move it. You can't.
Guys, we didn't get
There you
any
go.
cosmetics. You guys need to really fucking pick it
Well,
up.
we I think. Oh, bye, Winter.
I've been trapped.
What is that?
Why is a duck flying everywhere?
It's the duck. It's the quacker. So knock it against
Does
the
it
walls,
like the duck?
and it's gonna
Ow.
bounce, and it has a random chance to explode at every bounce.
Lock the hell
At
in.
which point
Oh
it
god.
goes quack.
Oh god.
Ow.
Why? Dumbass. Yeah, they moved the secret rooms as well, so
I'm
that's...
melting your fucking
Yeah,
brains.
I was looking again and I don't see it.
Brendan. Yeah.
This
Have
one
no
must be
effect.
in the ceiling or something.
Because you don't have any
Nothing's
brains.
changed.
Ow!
Ow. This guy's getting panicked.
Wait, go press 5.
What? Why?
You need to press the number 5. There we go. Perfect.
Oh, what the...
Yeah, that's
Don't
accurate.
like-
That's
I
lore
don't like
accurate,
that
goat.
one.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh. This one's creepy too.
Oh! I'm an angel. I don't deserve this.
Not yet, you're not.
He looks so fucking pissed. Ah.
Ah!
Where's the damn secret room, bro? I'm being trolled.
I thought it was only on certain maps.
No, it should be in almost every shop.
I mean, my
Why
guess
does
is
it matter?
it's
The only thing
in
you're
the
gonna
ceiling this time.
the only thing you're gonna get is a
Grenades
fucking.
can kill monsters.
We're not gonna buy
Yeah.
grenades. We have $2,000 fucking dollars to our name. Grenades cost more
Which
than
is-
That's
that.
enough for a grenade.
And not for a human grenade.
Exactly. Wait, what he said?
This grenade is very human.
This design is very human, yes. Alright, I bought upgrades. Let's go. Come on.
All right.
Come on, chaps.
I can't see anything.
Okay, this is mine. Y'all can have whatever you want.
Strength, and stamina. I'll be taking the
I just got a
speed upgrade.
tutorial. Hold left shift down to sprint. The stranger energy. What is this? Wonder if you could duplicate the upgrades by pressing E at the same time.
Yeah, that's the one they certainly didn't patch. You know, they did patch the health one, but, you know,
Oh, that's something that can happen?
no.
Oh.
I was
gonna say,
being
let
sarcastic with
fucking let Goat and Winter give it a go. They're really good at fucking duplicating shit.
That just happens, like.
Yeah.
Any game
POV, we're playing Deep Dish Dungeon and I duplicate the entire game.
Okay, you.
Oh, baby!
Kill it?
Oh, baby!
Oh.
Don't put him upright, he's gonna start crying.
Hello, Stevie. How's it going?
Alright, I'm taking the cart. I'm gonna go die.
Don't do that. Thank you for the
Hey, I found a Minecraft
285
cube.
I found a Minecraft cube.
285 stream streak. Thank you, thank you. I got a car. Beep beep.
Fancy me, do we have
To bring this back.
or do we sell it?
Parkour. Parkour. Parkour, she says, and she just can't fucking jump on. Is that garlic? Can we take that? This looks like a poop. Golden poop. God, imagine if you just shit gold. Get me on that fucking slim fast tea and some sort of fibrous diet. Where is everyone? I am feeling better, thank you for asking. You're not good at this parkour thing? I never have been. Winter might joke about jumping puzzles, but I'm actually fucking atrocious at parkouring.
Okay.
Oh, shit. How did I fuck that up?
Hello! Hi. Gnomes!
Nobes.
You're fucking hideous! What happened to your face?
Oh shit!
Fucking trying to grab
Chloe.
it. Did you
kill
hear
it?
that? Yeah, I killed it. I heard
you
Winter
kill
say
it?
uh-oh and...
Uh-oh.
Shut the fuck up, you.
Uh-oh.
You're disgusting.
So wait, does it change my face when I hold that?
No, you just talk through that thing.
Alright.
No, your face is the same though.
Alright, hell is just mean. Okay, cool. I think we can sell. We should have enough for the next one as well.
Oops.
Yeah, that's why I want to make it easier to be sold because I have them.
I don't even... That was Goat. Something happened to Goat, and he just looks like that now. There's so much shit. I hear it. Oh. You look sweet upon the seat of a bicycle. Don't put everything in yet.
Put everything in.
What the fuck happened to you? Why did you look like that? You're not gonna answer?
Who?
You.
What's wrong with me?
What did you... Why did you look like that?
Looks like what?
Wasn't that you?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Don't gaslight me, I swear to fucking God.
What are you talking about? How did I look like?
What the fuck?
Why is there a laser here?
Please?
I would not touch it if I were you.
Ah! Oh. Yeah.
Where's the ball? Are we selling the... Yeah, it's back at the place. Are we selling it?
I found out how the cosmetics work. We need to get this into the extract.
To the extract?
Yes.
Okay. We need to... Wait, so do we have only one?
We found only
he's
one.
got. Yeah,
So we just need
it's
to
the
take
one.
it to the
It does-
extract? Or do you mean
Yeah, we
into
just
the...
need-
Into the...
Into
Oh,
this.
okay. Alright. Okay, so not to the extract, to the fucking...
Oh, so y'all missed.
Yeah, there's something back here. And I'm probably gonna die trying to get it. Because what is stamina consumption? Oh, it's this thing. What does this do? This is not even that bad.
Oh, you can
it's
keep
the
that
griefing
article.
thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you guys missed this. Ah, there's fucking gnomes.
Good. Give it to the gnomes.
Uh-oh.
What do you mean, uh-oh? Uh-oh.
Would you mean uh-oh? Uh-oh.
Hi, bro.
Okay, where's Goat?
I don't know, Goat said uh-oh too.
Oh.
This is just a fucking chorus of uh-ohs.
It's like that episode of C-Lab. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Pick
I'm
them
digging
up.
myself. I'm
Oh, he's
struggling
fine.
to pick them up. Oh, I found Goat. He's alive. Nice.
No,
Let's
no,
go.
no, no,
You
uh-oh.
found me.
Yeah, they are kind of like fucking silverfish, aren't they? The wee
In a way.
gnomes. Cosmetic! Yeah!
Oh, nice.
We got a cosmetic
Sick fucking
hero.
animation.
Rock and stone.
Rock and stone, baby.
Stone.
Alright, let's see that cosmetic.
How do we spend
Insert the
it?
tax tokens.
Press E to insert. Okay. It's happening.
Whoa.
New head bottom overlay.
Oh!
It's just a fucking Five Nights at Freddy's floor fucking...
You can put it on your chin now, so you can have an actual chin.
Wait, do we all get a token? Neat.
Oh yeah!
Wait, did you get something different?
Flower arm?
Yeah, I got a
Flower-
right
What the
arm
fuck?
overlay.
Okay,
Okay,
let's see.
it's like gambling.
It is Gamba.
Oh!
You got a patch! Wow, you got an eye patch!
Kill
It's
this guy.
crazy! What did you get?
Oh!
That's... Wait, it didn't put it on you.
You got a tumor.
He's got a hat.
You got a tumor.
Okay, customize. Where's my UI?
Yours didn't put it on. Oh, I see.
That's so fucked. That suits you so well.
Sleep.
I know,
You got
right?
a oh no, that's your fucking loser crown. You actually have a tumor.
Sleep.
What in the out mode am I seeing right now?
Sleep.
Oh, I can color it as well. That's cool.
Okay, mine suits. I got the Five Nights at Freddy's fucking wall pattern.
Yeah, actually.
God, we look like a freaking ragtag of potatoes.
We are a
This is-
ragtag of potatoes. It makes sense.
For
Phase bridge.
scout.
Oh, this
What
is to help with your jumping puzzle, Winter.
Jumping puzzles. I hate those. Perfect.
We win those.
Can we buy the cart yet?
Yes, we can afford the scout.
Ah!
It's kind of hard to drive, I gotta say.
No, I think you're doing very well at it. I'm assuming that was intentional.
What? No, I wasn't trying to hit anyone.
Yeah. Okay, what upgrades do we have though?
I'm trying to see if I can do a lap without hitting the walls. It's not working.
But
Map player
finding
can
nothing.
upgrade, tumble launch
You?
upgrade, health, strength, range,
Over here.
Woohoo!
And
crouch
fine
rest
here.
upgrade, stamina upgrade.
Thank you for fun.
Alright, you guys can be in charge of
Why
buying
did
shit
you
because
put
I
that
can't make
in?
decisions.
That cannot go well. I mean, we don't have much here. I'm gonna get the stamina. I need to get some healing because I was on 5 health. I was dying earlier. Anyone else need healing? Who got blasted last time? Okay. And the health. Oh, you found it.
Well, you found the secret room?
Oh, it's the duck yet. I gotta use for this. Come here.
Don't worry, there's grenades too.
Okay, cool, because we can afford one.
Can we get the duct tape grenades?
Like a sticky.
No, because that's 3, I think, isn't it?
Oh, it's 2.
What is this?
Is it?
Yeah, but it's 2K though.
Yeah, let's get the duct tapes then. Yeah.
I think this is for if we have the duck, we could put it inside of it.
Oh. Don't you usually put the duck in the toilet and flush it?
We could, but it's not gonna kill it. It's gonna kill us.
I'm the duck now. Quack, quack.
Yeah, she's the duck.
Wait. Stop. I need you to stop moving so we can take a picture. Come on, y'all. Grab the thing and point at me so we can take a screenshot. Okay,
how are we gonna...
You can rotate it with right click.
Oh, right. I forgot about that.
Nice one, Winter. Nice one.
Okay, you know what? This is good enough. Let's go. That's it.
Put that on your head.
Sending it to hell.
Was it Skyrim? Oh. They will never know.
Go.
Guys, you can't blame me this time. Let's go.
I think you find that we very well can blame you, and we will. This is a democracy. There's 3 of us and 1 of you.
Oh no.
Oh, healing. Alright, who wants dibs on the cart?
Why did you actually put that on? It looks fucking vile. Guard might get nervous. Man approaches with a bucket on his head. Hello, Boyka. How's it going? Oh, it's got charge on that. Alright, let's go. I'm gonna be on the hunt for the cosmetic cubes.
Hunt.
Headsman. There.
What?
Headsman.
Yeah,
Wait,
this
what's
place
the-
is called
No one
Headsman.
uses that skin anymore.
Oh, there it
Redsman.
is.
Year of our Lord 2026, the Redsman.
Oh, God.
Oh, what the fuck is this place?
Ow.
There's a box here. It's 18,000.
Okay.
This
Did
is
you
handled
kill a
with
goat?
care.
Let's
No, he's not dead. Okay.
What there are.
If it ain't cube shaped, I don't care. It's Robot Wars. The way he was driving, yeah, I suppose you're right.
Right.
I feel like I'm trying. Oh, there's a wall in my way.
I mean, you turn. Like, you go. Yes, face the door and then walk back.
Oh god. That's gonna go very well. Oh, it's a shower! What's this, a sauna?
It's gonna start raging.
What is that noise? fucking Goro Majima over here. Kiryu-chan!
I don't know, but it wants me.
You know, things could have gotten a lot better, but they didn't. Genuinely.
Let go!
Guys, Phantom is dead.
No, there's a thing, 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 there's a thing.
Yeah, Phantom, he died to the thing. He fucking ran head into it with the fucking car.
There's also a duck.
Hide from it. It targets someone, it chases them. No, my back.
Oh, it's like a banshee.
It's a banshee, yeah. It's chasing
Alright, what the
Winter.
fuck
Well,
am
good
I
luck,
worrying
Winter.
about?
Good luck, Winter. Thoughts and prayers.
Yeah.
Tsuno ni I love you, Todokiyo.
This is gonna take some work.
Okay, what do you want me to do about it?
Casket. Just bring it here. I'm just gonna topple it over the cart. Just gonna move it around. No, wait. Put the cart in front of it. I'm gonna topple it over.
It's a good thing my eyes are closed.
Okay, well, there's a little thing with the panel. So.
Y'all, Winter found my car, and he's coming.
Oh no.
There we go. Oh. Ah, look at that. Perfect.
Oh, God.
There's a table there.
The cart is gonna get me killed.
You need to
I threw
stay
grenades.
the fuck away from us, because if she comes...
Sure, I threw grenades at her, and I don't know where she went after that. I don't see her orb, so either the grenades blew it up, or she didn't die at all. I don't know. But I haven't seen her in a while.
It's a two-man job.
No, it's fine. It's literally fine.
Oh god. It is not fine.
No, it's fine. You just gotta push it. Fine.
We're gonna be here 73 years.
How is this good? How are you gonna get this out?
By like this.
Oh Jesus, scared the shit out of me. How are you controlling that so good?
Yeah, don't worry about it, Chief. I've sussed it out. Boom. I'm sure everyone is still very alive. I think there's like fuck all here. No cosmetic cube shop. I wonder how rare they are. It's a bit too quiet. I don't like how quiet it is. Oh, that's the... Still alive.
Al can help you. No, go help Goat. I gotta run.
Okay. What's that noise?
Ladies. What noise? Oh! The fuck?
Get the card. I can bait it. Fight these frogs.
Where's the casket?
I don't know. You should...
Oh.
Kill the casket.
I don't think we're gonna have like enough, bro.
Scroll here. 4.
Just have faith. Faith's not gonna pay the bills. Cause you gotta have faith.
We
The
literally
faith,
have
the faith.
almost enough.
You gotta have faith, the faith,
We
the
need
faith.
one more item.
Watch out, I gotta go. Watch out, watch out.
Mike, the scroll! You broke
Well-
the scroll! You broke it. Oh. She didn't like me standing in the way.
No, I didn't think she did. Okay, well, we don't have enough.
But there's still some more items.
Okay. Where?
I'm pretty sure I saw some.
I'll try and go get Phantomy. Oh wait, there's stairs here. Oh no! She's coming for me! I think she killed Winter! She killed Winter. I think she's coming for me. I saw the hands.
Good luck.
No, why me?
Still alive. Yeah, I don't know why I'm not dead. She grabbed me and then I jumped out.
Fucking...
Well, the hands are on me now, so thanks for that, Winter. Thanks
Okay,
a lot.
yeah, she's coming, she's coming. Watch out, watch out.
I don't like this. Hello? Hello? Honestly, I'd just rather be dead at this point. I don't like it. What if I just kill myself? And then they just have to deal with her.
Lady Pig moment.
I don't see her.
She ran towards where I found Phantomy's head, and there's also a frog with throwing knives, by the way.
Oh yeah, that's what broke the casket, I think. I saw the hands, so I just assumed she'd be coming for me.
Yeah, she was. You might have switched to go.
Go.
Wait, there's stairs here.
Yeah, that's where I was gonna go until I saw the hands. But there's fucking nothing. Let's try checking here too.
Okay, Goat's still alive because I see loot moving on the map.
Hey.
Is she coming for you now?
What?
She's not coming for me.
I don't know.
It's not enough. Maybe, can we kill the duck? We need to kill something.
I need
Probably.
you.
What? Your arm again, it's so fucking stupid.
Just a sleeve. Alright, crouch. Oh, shit. That's not good.
Did you grab the fucking duck?
I tried to grab you! You got in the way! Anyway.
Oh, I found an item. Only $600.
Grab you this time. Oh.
What are you doing? Oh, okay, there's a vase here. And it is worth 10,000. However, it is very heavy.
That's a fucking giant.
It's a fuck-ass vase, yes. Hello, Saul, how's it going?
Alright, where's...
I'm okay, how are you? That woman comes up here to kill me. I swear to fucking God.
He has an idea. He says you could try to empty the cart of all of its items and then use the cart to ram the duck into the fireplace and kill it.
There's a $10,000 vase here.
You just need to bring this vase down.
Alright, you ready?
Coming for me, so you guys are on your own.
Yeah. So I guess I'll just try to grab it.
You got it?
Yes.
Okay.
Fuck this piece of shit little.
It's okay, let go,
duck
let go.
Needs to piss piss off, you little bastard. I fucking punt you.
Oh my god.
We need to carry it too. It's gonna fucking break.
You got it?
Oh, I want to get around. Shit! What the fuck is that? That's the thing that was chasing Winter.
And she, of course.
I found us.
We just got fucking clapped.
Something tells me. Oh,
Did she break the vase?
I
No,
don't
it's still on
think
the
she
ground.
did. Yeah, she took some value
It's-
away from it, but she didn't break it.
I was gonna tell Winter to bring the car to y'all, but he ran away 'cause the loom was coming.
why are you here?
I think we're cooked, y'all.
Yeah, we
I
absolutely
don't think
are.
we're getting the rare token.
Don't chase me, you fucking god. Stay away.
Wait, did you find
throw
one?
knives at her.
What, the box? Yeah.
No.
Oh!
No, keep going left, little fucker. Okay, I don't, I guess. Come on, dude. Hey, where are you going? Does that mean I'm good? I'm gonna say that means I'm good. We're gonna go forward. Guys. L. O.
I just saw something lose money.
Oh no, she's coming back.
I think something destroyed the vase.
Oh, I see a head on the ground. Why? Why, huh?
The
suck,
vase
bro.
is stuck in the door and the loom breaks shit to get past it.
Ah.
Couldn't be content with being looped in that room. Well, let's go. Fuck.
Like, I'm trying to roll the vase towards the extract by using my tiny head, but...
Oh, wait, can we... Where is it? Which way is extract? Which way?
Can you try move?
Oh, fuck.
I
Go, you can,
jumped
if
on
you
the
can
other
press
side.
E, you can actually, like,
made it.
control the character.
Son of a bitch. Fuck
And you
you,
press
bro.
space and try and roll it.
We're trying to roll the thing towards the extract while...
I just don't know which way it is.
Attack her!
Go
Attack the
raise
bitch,
until
you
winter.
bitch.
Put the pawn. Pick the pawn.
Yeah, I'm aware.
Roll that, get the card to get the pawn if you can.
Yes.
It's more
I can't pick that thing up on my own. I don't have strength.
Tell him to roll it.
He needs to take everything out of the cart.
Nah, it fits. It just... Oh, your guys were so close as well. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yes.
It barely has any...
The fucking lady came and slapped both of us.
I don't know why. It was
Yeah.
on me. I don't know that I can pick this up. Oh no.
We were trying to roll it. We might be able to roll it if you can loop long enough, but you need to move the thing out of the way now.
Okay.
It...
Duck, please. Yeah, you know what, Duck? You stay in the cart, bud. Where am I? I got lost. I'm all turned around. Oh, I needed to go left back there.
That was so unfortunate as well. The
Are we
double
gonna try
clappage.
rolling it?
Yeah,
Alright.
that's the
I didn't
best.
even hear it come.
No, she's very sneaky. That's why I said she's
Cracking
literally
with the fucking duck, bro.
so sneaky. If he's very gentle with it, it might just work. It would have been a lot easier if it was still on like 10k, but the loom decided that it doesn't like arts and crafts. Oh, this is gonna be scary.
Any of
No,
us.
no, 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 don't go far!
Why?
Go far away from me! Okay, plan B. Get the cars, get the fireplace.
Andy.
You got this. I've seen you win
It
these.
exploded!
You got. Yeah, I'm saying you got this.
Oh, I thought you were yelling at me. I'm sorry.
You want to break me for emotional support?
Sure.
Oh, God.
You can watch me fail.
Is he gonna try kill a duck?
That's the plan, yeah. That's plan
How much
B.
health does he have? I just not got that much.
The banshee's coming! The duck's in my way! Well, it's over now.
Can he kill the banshee?
With what he has, no.
Can we kill the
There's
banshee?
no nothing.
Fireplace I need to look for.
Yeah, you should be
Fuck off, duck.
close. And the duck's gonna follow you the entire time. It's very easy.
Alright.
Winter has now a Sisyphean task to do.
Please, duck, move out of my way, bro.
This is how stress looks like, by the way, for everyone. This is how male pattern baldness develops before 40.
Poor Winter.
Fireplace. Oh, yeah, right there.
That's
Hi.
that's a shitty
Hi.
fireplace.
There's a table in my way. I'm sure that won't be a problem. Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, that works too. You keep doing that, dude. Oh, no.
Oh, it might be over.
Christ above. Okay. And I think he's going right. You're right. It could be. I was hoping one of them would kill each other.
He needs to
That
look for
didn't
another
happen.
fireplace. That one won't work. It needs to be a clean
Not
fireplace.
100% sure how I'm
Sag.
gonna use this fireplace
Thank you for the
to do
100
what I
stream
need to
streak.
do
How's it going?
either, Cause yeah, I have all the banshee hands keep appearing on the side of my screen, and that's very stressful.
I'm chilling. Thank you for asking. Glad to hear it's going well.
Thanks, bud. I appreciate it. Oh, that's a bathroom. Oh!
Oh, did you see that smile? Ew.
Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
toothy boy. Oh,
Quack,
there's the
quack.
room.
Hi. Oh, my asshole.
The duck's weaponized.
Why are you mad at me, bro? I didn't do it.
Still, the duck got its licks in. I think it's pretty low. He could maybe try and smash it.
Can you kill this frog, Mr. Duckman? Oh, Christ. Where did my cart go? Hey, thanks, boss. I don't feel like I'm doing great.
Oh, we ain't lifting that.
Oh yeah, no, need 2 people to lift that.
Can you let me buy you, Mr. Chef Man? Oh, it's over, guys. Oh, it's so over. It's so over. Can you kill her? Kill her!
You could try and bait it into the thing.
Oh, fuck. Alright, I have a plan. Come here, frogman.
What's your plan,
My plan is to keep touching the frog until it explodes her. I feel like something exploded. What was that?
There's a
Where did he have
low,
it? Where is she? Where
low
are the
chance
monsters? Where did
she
the
may have
monsters go?
clapped the frog.
I don't know.
Maybe we were the monsters all along.
I think we might have been. I just run like GoPro.
You're the boss.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I'm really the lifeblood here. Really feels it. There's not like
Looking
a,
at
I don't
this-
know, there's not like a, I don't know, like a wall we didn't open or something.
I really doubt it. We had like triple the money or more on the map. That's the sad thing. I just
This fucking door!
the top
Who
fridge?
did this?
I looked in the fridge.
Even the top half?
I looked in
Aw.
both halves of the fridge, I remember.
I'll be
God.
back for you. Don't go anywhere.
The toilet, if there is one, can have stuff. Bro, we're like one
Surely we
something
just
away.
missed something. One of these little
It's if we had
balls. Like,
this
look
guy
at that.
when he
What is
was
this?
running from the banshee.
Safe with
Just
nothing in
carrying
it
a
because
scroll,
I don't know, that's
just
what
ran
normal
into it,
fucking
just
people do.
exploded.
I think Winter might have to perish.
Valuables or anything. Would really pick this place clean, huh? Can I sell this door? You think they'll buy a door?
I don't think they need a door.
Listen. Maybe they want it, you know? Just because it's me. I'm a trustworthy guy. You'd buy something from me, right? What if I sold you like a, I don't know, like a car? You'd buy a car from me. You trust a car that I sold you, right? Yeah, see?
Me when
Guys,
I lie.
I don't know what to do. Where's the monsters? They can't even kill me.
Yeah,
They're
I was
not
just saying, you
here.
know what's funny? He can't even kill himself.
How?
Yeah, he can. He can self-destruct.
I feel like I missed my window to die. The monsters despawned. I took too long dying, and they were like, "What is this guy doing?"
I don't know if it would be funny the moment he pops in, we tell him to self-destruct.
Oh no, never mind. Banshee's back.
When the ghosts of your dead friends tell you to kill yourself,
she
that's
is.
when things are bad.
Truly, I can't believe there's no loot anywhere. You know what I mean? Oh, there you are. It's. I don't know what else to do. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
I know.
You did great.
Did what I could.
Everything.
Oh, let's go!
Oh, we get a new one.
Oh my god, racing.
Last loser standing.
Oh god, I don't understand how this thing works already. Oh, I hit a wall. Oh my god, my anus. Oh my god, my asshole.
What the
My
fuck?
asshole
This
feels
reminds me of the
horrible
one
right now.
Crash Bash map.
Yeah, for real.
Stop fucking bumping into me.
It's you that's bumping into me!
Load.
shit. I win!
Last loser standing.
Oh my god, dude, that was crazy. That was fun.
You about to ask if we can do that again? You just want to play that game mode?
At least over the. I mean, I don't mind the one where we beat each other, but I feel like I'm really bad with the weapons.
You know what's doubly funny? This is something the community asked like halfway through the update. They were like, dude, you need to make racing now that you've added the cards.
Seriously.
And they were like, okay, fuck it, we add racing. It's gonna delay it for a month.
Wizard Tower.
Oh, look, it's the 2K potion.
Makes you fly.
What does it do?
It makes a zone of anti-gravity.
If you have to break it though, you can't just like hold it.
Yeah, you wasted the money. Okay, nothing here.
Yo, cosmetic. Cosmetic cube.
What? What are you doing?
Why did I just see a big minus? What happened?
No, it's gonna go up. No, it's gonna blow up again. No.
Stop fucking around. No. We don't want to go in there.
Oh. Head. Fuck you.
How's it going for you?
Ow, why?
Stop fucking hitting me against the wall, you freak.
What happened? What's up? There's a big head guy and the kid
With the balloons oh, Goat died.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Okay, there's a big thing here. There's a jug of poison.
I have a feeling there was some foul play involved. Goat would never get killed by a monster.
No, the head did all the work. I can't even claim.
It says it is. Here, let me take this.
My head at the floor, so that,
Yeah, when you were dead, no one cares. I was dribbling you.
yeah, that's fucked up, bro.
Winter perished. Winter perished. Thanks for the self-care check, Hannah.
Okay, we're almost ready to go. Just give me a second.
I did what?
Hey, hell.
Yeah. Is that everything?
Almost. What do you think? They usually need to have flare tips, right?
It looks like a crystal from Crash Bandicoot.
Imagine putting this up for auction.
We're having two different conversations, I feel.
What? Okay. Well, screaming aside, I think we're good.
Yeah.
Can you
Nothing of
pick
value
up
was lost.
Winter?
Yeah,
on the
he's
way
at the
out?
he's at the thing.
Okay, where's Balloon Boy?
I don't know.
Because I don't want to, you know, risk angering him yet, if possible. Yeah, she wishes. She wishes she could. Yay, cosmetic coin!
Right, let me
Alright,
heal you
y'all,
guys
let's
a little
go.
bit so we can min-max
Go.
the healing.
Bye.
Okay.
Whatever.
Hey, I didn't get any healing.
Beep, 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 beep.
Hi! Hells broke your balloons.
Oh, did he come?
Yeah. He walked in like he pays rent, man.
What a loser.
No, right? Okay, cosmetics. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Yo!
What the fuck?
Alright.
This guy's cheating.
Fucking nerd glasses.
Okay, go. Get your stuff.
What the fuck is this? I got a
Oh, you got
skirt.
pants. Okay. Oh.
Ugh, that's awful looking.
This is hideous.
It's perfect
Are you
for
gonna get another arm?
A rook.
That'll be nice. Camel head, what is that?
You got fucking shit on your face. I'm gonna put my skirt on.
Yeah, like you rolled in mud.
Oh, I'm camouflaged.
Camouflage from what?
The monsters? What do you mean, what? Okay, time to make some purchases.
Oh, you guys didn't find a secret area in this one, did you?
Oh yeah, no. It's right here though.
This is the coffee machine? Oh.
Some grenades.
What the
How
fuck,
are you
dude?
alive? He's so
Y'all
try
angry.
and kill
Look
Goat
at this! Look at
again.
this angry child.
Calling it angry child.
You're angry.
Alright.
Wait for it. Still think we can
Looks like
afford
a
one.
drop kick you.
No, we can't. We're poor. Oh, yeah, we can.
No, you have to
Alright.
drop head me. It's not how it works. It's a head bash, not a kick bash.
Like that.
Hi, Ghost. Can I help you? Mm. Alright, are we good?
Yeah. How are we looking worse?
Every time we get a fucking a
like
cosmetic
glorious,
cube, we
except
just come
winter.
back looking like fucking shit. Alright, take your upgrades. Oh,
I
they
forgot
just
what they took.
they just
Oh, I
fucking
took
left.
strength.
Fine,
They
I'll
just
take it.
left. I'll
I'm
take
gonna be
heal.
fast as fuck.
What the fuck, dude? Get off. What?
What in the Austin Powers is this fucking place? Oh, it's the art place again. What happened to the fucking item you guys just had?
You broke it.
I'm gonna.
Kerbit.
Here we go, Haji, for my
Little arms and then it exploded. Holy, what is this flat basketball?
Is that what it is? A basketball?
Yeah. This is definitely basketball, like, symbols and stuff.
Basketball symbol. I got pills.
You know, let me just fucking peek. Oh, there's a baby head.
You're a baby head.
That's it.
Doing.
Making the baby cry. Uh-oh.
Is that a car? It's a fish? Okay, weird. Keep your eyes out for cosmetic cubes. Did you find the duck? Oh, you found the dog!
Yeah.
What the dog doing?
What the?
Can someone help me with this baby head? It's fucking...
Come here, Mr. Cleanup Crew. I got a present for you.
Who's the cleanup crew?
That's the guy that throws the bomb with his head. I grabbed him and it said his name was Cleanup Crew. The laser?
What are these guys talking
Hey,
about?
buddy. Hey. Yeah, this way.
What's the wiener exhibit? Oh, shit! Banger. Can we sell the dog? That doesn't sound like a very friendly, Can we sell the dog?
No.
Oh.
Beware.
I have items.
Beware! Get back! Okay. Wait for it. The head needs to go away. There you go. Alright, now we can go. No!
What are they doing?
It's
Kill
fine,
them
it's
with
a second extrapolate.
hammers.
I think Winter's passed already though.
What?
Yeah, his head is somewhere right here.
Well, that's fucked
There
up,
you go.
goat.
What?
You didn't even res Winter.
It fucked up that hell killed me, actually.
What the fuck do you mean I killed you?
You're trying to pin it on me, but we actually killed.
Look, I will happily admit to when I killed people, but I'm getting a
whoa,
lot
whoa,
of
whoa.
false fucking accusations today.
Listen, would I
I'm not
lie
lying.
about you killing me? That doesn't seem like something that's all I'm saying.
I think it is something you would do.
No, I think he's got a point.
Would hell kill Winter? Yes.
But I would admit to killing Winter unless it was something really funny.
Did you
And
pet
this-
Elsa the last time you saw her?
Yeah, I pet her like 7 million times just trying to pick her up to see if I could sell her.
Okay, good.
You tried to sell Elsa? See, I'm the one that I think that I did. She's covered with a box. She's gonna put me
What is he talking about? Fucking loser.
I don't think we have a customizable box here, so we should just...
Okay. The Shimada Empire. The Shimada Empire. The Shimada... The Shimada Empire.
What? Motherfucker.
The Shimada... The Shimada... The Shimada Empire. Will rise again.
Hansel bring on. You don't even play Hansel.
I do. I got him level 5.
Well...
Oh, I'm alive again.
The Shimada Empire.
The Shimada Empire.
I want to touch it.
The Shimada Empire.
It's radioactive, though.
The Shimada Empire.
Dog. Where's your dog?
The Shimada Empire. Yeah, pet the dog.
Told you it's
Sell the dog.
radioactive.
Sell it.
Hi, Elsa.
Elsa. Do 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 do. What the dog doing?
Eat shit.
The dog had red eyes. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Everything is fucking irradiated.
Yeah, when the head goes kabloomy, he radiates shit. Guys, someone pet Elsa. Someone pet Elsa!
I want to see what happens if you don't pet Elsa, though.
We die? What do you mean? What happens? Do you remember? Do you know the baby from Lethal?
Yeah. Is that what
That's
it's
what
like?
happens.
Oh, it goes fucking
Yeah.
hate mode.
Oh.
Elsa is more like a muscle lady, though, than the giant weird bug creature. Like, she's gonna flex on us if she gets angry.
I see.
Well, considering we don't have any cosmetics, let's make this quick.
It only matters if we have cosmetics.
Exactly. Exactly. You get it.
Look at precision and the control I have over this. The Shimada Empire.
Uh-oh.
Ah!
such a visceral freaking explosion as well every time. Like it's so cartoonish. You're gonna make this smack help.
Oh no, whatever shall we do?
The baby's dead. Okay, who wants stamina? I want fine. Wait, what
this
expression
place.
is 0? Oh, this is the 0 expression. Kiryu-chan!
Oh my god, you actually do look like Majima like that. That's crazy. Take care, Hannah. Thank you for stopping by. Car fluid.
Cosmetic.
Cosmetic.
Yes!
Alright, get the fucking shit and get out. Let's go.
I mean, that's how the game's played. What do you mean?
Yeah, but it's really important that we survive now.
Yeah, we got a blue cosmetics. That's what we had last time when we... That doesn't seem dangerous at all.
Nah.
I got pills.
Bill's here. Imagine playing Left 4 Dead 2.
Dude, that would be great. Like, imagine like if we all played Left 4 Dead. That would be so crazy. Could you imagine if we did that? That's like a... Maybe we should make that happen.
You still got the craving for Left 4 Dead 2?
Bro, it's been like fucking 2 years at this point. Over 2 years.
Get in the card.
Whoa.
Okay, get the card out. The extract, I think.
Yeah.
Be wary, there is a screamer. I don't know if Hell can still hear us.
Nah, she'll figure it out.
Yeah, I'm sure she will.
Yeah.
Fucking morons.
I couldn't turn around and push in a cart, man. I'll let you put it in first.
That's what she said.
Can you change the color of the mud on your face?
It's camouflage, yes.
Yeah, can you make it white?
Change the color. No. Can't be. Why do you want me to?
Because that's the funny
This could be
Quiplash
funny.
answer, remember? That's the funny Quiplash answer. Insert cyberpunk music.
Oh. Don't go there. Don't go that way.
That's... Oh, that's a problem. Oh, that's a problem! Don't destroy the cart, you stupid thing. I'm sorry, I gotta pull the cart out of her way. Think you're hot shit? No, you're not. This is the kitchen nightmares. Come here, fight me. Ah!
fucking Wilhelm scream.
What? Why is it aggroing on to me? There's a fucking guy hitting it with a
Because when you look at it, it kills you.
Oh, I shouldn't have left. Oh, no. Where's the frying pan? Where's the frying pan? Where's the frying pan? Oh my god, why is it over there?
If you just don't look at it, it won't kill you. Also, don't touch it.
Die, hell.
Huh?
How did you die?
I fucking ran into it, yeah.
Oh, it still kills you even if you don't look at it, but it gets enraged if you look at it.
Oh. Well, yeah, I mean, don't touch it,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah, don't beat the shit out of it with a pan.
Alright, I know I've been here before winter, but you got this.
I hope so.
How does this always happen?
I don't want this.
You know what's funny? Last time it was also a blue customizable thingy on the line.
Oh, good.
Well, I believe this time you actually will see.
This time, the odds are a little bit more in my favor of a frying pan.
I mean, if you take us to the thing, we just res, right?
Correct, I believe. But I need a few more bucks.
No, I mean to the extract, like the original place. Is that not how it works anymore?
No, you need to extract. Like, he needs to pay first. The extract only revives at the end after the final thing has been put.
Oh.
There's also a flamethrower behind the door, but it might be too heavy for you.
Oh, it's also not worth it because like just 3k, but
yeah, a little heavy.
Just leave it. There's like more small objects.
Yeah.
Statistically speaking, 1 in 10 witnesses never make it out alive.
Fucking, why is it all flamethrowers, bro?
Can he use the cart to push it?
maybe.
Oh no, he's got it.
Yeah, he's got. At worst, it's. Oh no.
That's stuck. Winter, I don't know if you've ever attended a physics class, but that's stuck on the door.
I think if he clicks.
I didn't go to a real high school, so no, actually, I didn't.
You didn't go to a real high school? What does that mean? You went to a fake one?
Not exactly. No, it's complicated. But American education already is American education. Mine was very, very different.
Grab on the handlebars.
I am. Oh, whoa! I see. I wasn't. That would have been nice to know a moment ago.
Well, you have to understand, Winter, it would be you driving it, so we had to... That was our last resort, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, push us in. Let's go. I think it's enough.
Yeah. I know, I'm going. I'm not risking anything.
Not even rain?
That's it. I'm not rezzing her. Where is her head?
Wait! No! I want my fucking cosmetic cube. Get me the fuck out of here.
Oh, the young baby!
Oh fuck! Shit!
I just heard the scream!
I turned around, and then in that second I turned around, the fucking thing grabbed me from behind and screamed at me.
We just need one person to get out.
Yep, literally just one.
Oh!
That's crazy.
Oh no.
No.
Tell him.
Do not worry about me. You just gotta go, dude. You gotta run.
What the fuck is...
No!
What happened?
Slender baby.
Yeah, there was a little head with hands. And then the yeety bit.
Alright,
Okay. We're racing, y'all.
I'm gonna curb it.
No!
Holy shit, I'm insane. Stay away from me! I gotta get through this!
Yes!
Whew! Oh my god, stay the fuck away from me!
No!
Did I win?
No.
What
Wait.
the fuck? This is bullshit! Phantomy won! I was in first the whole time!
Yeah, but then when you both fell, he fell on top of you and bounced you down.
That's so fucked up. That's really fucked up. I can't believe you do this to me.
What do you mean?
This is all your fault, I think.
I mean,
That was funny. I like
Yeah, the racing one is actually really fun. I'm not gonna lie.
Jesus.
It's pretty
it's a
fucking
bit
good.
janky.
You think?
It is a little janky, but I enjoy it. Yeah, well, sometimes you
Yeah,
don't go
it
forward
is
as
a little
fast as you're
janky.
supposed to. I
But
think.
I think it's meant to be janky, honestly. That's what makes it fun.
I see.
If it was
Yeah.
like too good, it would be, you know, less fun in a way.
Right.
Yeah, I get it.
Okay. Well, that'll be it for me today.
Alright.
But thank you guys so much for playing. This was very fun, even if we didn't get our blue cosmetics. But it's okay. There's always next time.
There's always next
Game
time.
has fucking cosmetics and I have to collect.
Yeah. Yeah, that
Real.
is how
Yep.
it works. Mhm.
Real and
Always
true.
indeed.
Alright. You guys enjoy the rest of your evening. Goodbye.
Okay, goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Perfect. Alright, thank you Phantomy, Winter, and Goat for playing that with me. That was a lot of fun. I wasn't as trash at the game as I thought I was gonna be. But Repo is always a good time. I mean, games like that tend to always be a good time regardless. So, especially in such good company. Let me just do this. Oh wait, no, come back here. Freak game? What the fuck do you mean freak game? That's fucked up. Like 7 fucking different windows just popped up for me. I'm so fucking scared right now. Alright, losers. That is it for me today because I want to go and watch Autumn's stream. It is her birthday and she's going to be opening a fuck ton of cardboard today. So, as I said, I'm going to be very self-serving. I'm going to go raid into Autumn. And we can wish her happy birthday. Now, I don't do... There we go. I don't do raid messages, really, but if you'd like to wish her a happy birthday today, that would be really cool. Maybe ask her how she's doing. I'm sure she would really appreciate that. Just be on your best behavior regardless. Okay? I'm not streaming tomorrow. Tomorrow is Friday. Friday is my day off, so I will not be here. So next time you'll see me is on Saturday, which is when I said we were probably going to do some... we're going to do the tier list with Ray, and we are also going to maybe do the crowd control peak. We will see. We will see. We will see. But thank you so much for coming today. I hope you enjoyed it. I had a really lovely time with the lads and doing some repos. Sorry I was so short. Thank you to my chatters. Thank you to my lurkers. Thank you all so much for taking the time to stop by today. I really do appreciate it. So thank you very much for that. You guys, try your best. Have a lovely rest of your morning, noon, or night, wherever you are. Take good care of yourselves, and I will hopefully see you on Saturday. Okay? Okay, it's really weird without music. Alright, bye-bye!